50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Prophecy. If you're a Call of Duty fan, and I know you are, you're gonna want to stick around for this one. Today we're hopping into the time machine and going on a wild ride through the entire history of Call of Duty. We're talking about the highs, the lows, and all the crazy facts and stats that you never knew you needed to know. But before we dive in, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you won't miss any future Call of Duty content. Alright, let's get into it. The year is 2003 and the very first Call of Duty game was released. It was exclusively released on PC and became known for its extensive modding support. The game was set in World War II. It featured a multi-perspective campaign allowing players to experience the war from the viewpoints of the American, British, and Soviet soldiers. Additionally, there was an expansion pack called COD United Offensive, which added more campaign missions to the game. Call of Duty Finest Hour was released in 2004. It was set in World War II and was exclusively released on consoles including PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. This game was essentially the console version of the original Call of Duty game in 2003. It introduced aim assist, a feature that helped players with aiming on consoles. Like the original, it also featured a multi-perspective campaign offering players a variety of viewpoints during the war. In 2005, Call of Duty 2 was released. It was set in World War II once again. It was launched as a title alongside the Xbox 360, making it a staple for early adopters of the console. Many Xbox 360 owners received the game as part of the bundles. The game featured fan favorite maps like 2Jane and Burgundy, which became iconic battlegrounds for players. Interestingly enough, the map 2Jane was brought back in a later installment of the series, Modern Warfare 2 2022, under the name Koryo Village. Call of Duty 2 aimed for a higher degree of historical accuracy in terms of weapons, uniforms, and locations, immersing players in the World War II era. Call of Duty 2 was also the first time we saw regenerating health in the franchise. In 2005, Call of Duty 2 The Big Red One was released. Unlike the main Call of Duty games that often featured multi-perspectives and storylines, Call of Duty 2 Big Red One followed the journey of a single squad, providing a more personal and focused narrative. The game maintained a World War II setting, offering players the opportunity to experience the conflict from the perspective of the United States. In 2006, Call of Duty 3 continued with the World War II setting, placing players in the midst of the conflict. The game expanded on the multiplayer aspects of the franchise. While previous Call of Duty games had multiplayer modes, COD 3 offered more multiplayer map modes and improved online functionality. This expansion laid the foundation for the robust online multiplayer experiences seen later in the titles. They released the map Champs, which added diversity to the multiplayer pool. The Valor map pack was introduced as the first map pack in the Call of Duty series, featuring additional maps including Crossing, Ironclad, La Brigade, Stalag 23, and Wildwood, further enriching the multiplayer experience. In 2007, Call of Duty dropped arguably the most important game in the entire franchise, Call of Duty 4. Enter the golden age of Call of Duty. With over 19 million copies sold across all platforms, unlike previous titles, it departed from World War II setting and was set in the modern era, specifically in 2011. It was initially released on next-gen consoles like PS3, Xbox 360, as well as on PC, with a later version for the Wii called Modern Warfare XR. The game introduced the concept of kill streaks, where players could earn rewards like a UAV, airstrike, and attack helicopter by achieving certain kill streaks 3, 5, and 7. It featured beloved characters like Price, Soap, and Macmillan, who become iconic figures in the series. Custom classes allowed players to personalize their loadouts to suit their playstyle. The MP5, the M16, and the M40 Sniper reigned supreme. This was the M16 that made people fall in love with the M16. Perks like Juggernaut, which turned you into about a Juggernaut actually, it was insane. Stopping power and eavesdropping added depth to the gameplay, allowing for various strategies while playing the game. The map Shipment made its first appearance in this game, known for its fast-paced and chaotic gameplay. The Prestige system, where players could reset their ranks in exchange for special emblems, was introduced. Crash, Shipment, and Vacant were fan-favorite maps that have remained popular among players to this day. In 2008, Call of Duty World at War was dropped. In a way, this was a remake of Call of Duty 4, but in a World War II setting. It returned to the World War II era after the modern era of COD 4. The MP40 submachine gun was known to be the most overpowered weapon in the game. Players often found bouncing Bettys more annoying than Claymores actually in multiplayer matches. The game's menu had a terrifying and eerie ambience, contributing to its overall intense and scary atmosphere. Multiplayer included tanks, allowing players to engage in tank battles styles in addition to infantry combat. It included a game mode called War, which featured objective-based gameplay and became a fan favorite very quickly. Memorable maps from the game included a castle and dome, which provided varied environments for combat. Notably, Call of Duty World at War included Nazi zombies as a co-op game mode that would later become a beloved staple in Treyarch franchise history. In 2009, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was released. It was set in 2016, continuing the story from the original Modern Warfare game. This game sold approximately 25 million copies globally. The game sparked significant controversy due to the no rushing campaign mission, which allowed players to participate in a terrorist attack at an airport. This mission generated widespread debate and discussion among the community. It introduced Special Ops, a co-op game mode that provided various missions for players to complete together. The game featured memorable characters like Ghost, Roach, Shepard, Sandman, and Makarov, whose actions drove much of the game's plot. It expanded the killstreak system, allowing players to customize their killstreak rewards based on their playstyle. The create class system received further expansion and customizable options. Pro perks were introduced, providing additional benefits for players who completed specific challenges. The tactical nuke was a devastating 25 killstreak reward, becoming famous for ending matches in a nuclear explosion. The game faced criticism for gameplay imbalances, including issues like one-man army noob tubes, commando lunging, and overpowered weapons like the UMP, ACR. Actually, every weapon was overpowered, so if they're all overpowered, is anything overpowered? The introduction of death streaks and painkiller sparked a controversy and debates within the community. Fan favorite multiplayer maps like Terminal, High Rise, and Rust offered intense and memorable combat scenarios. Players often engaged in epic duels to settle their beef on the iconic map Rust. Notably, Infinity Ward, the developer of MW2, faced legal disputes with Activision, leading to the departure of key developers who later formed Respawn Entertainment, known for the Titanfall and Apex Legends series. Call of Duty Black Ops was released in 2010 and was set during the 1960s Cold War, offering players a unique historical backdrop. With over 30 million copies sold across all platforms, this game featured an interactable main menu where players could break out of a chair and enter cheat codes. One of these cheat codes allowed players to access the fun Dead Ops arcade minigame. The create class system was expanded once again, giving players more options for customizing their loadout. Player customization was a prominent feature, allowing players to personalize their characters and equipment. The addition of camera spikes allowed players to gather intelligence by placing them strategically around the map, and this made people not have to call mom for the camera anymore. The RCXD, a remote-controlled explosive car, was introduced as a killstreak. The Blackbird killstreak provided a significant advantage by revealing enemy positions on the minimap in real time. The game included dolphin dives, a mechanic for quickly getting to cover or evading enemy fire. Weapons like the FAMAS, Commando, and Galil were known to be overpowered among many players. A money system was introduced for purchasing weapons and camos in multiplayer. Wager matches added a unique gambling element to multiplayer, where players could bet their in-game currency for a chance to win big. Fan favorite maps were Nuketown, Firing Range, and Summit, becoming iconic battlegrounds for future games. Theater mode allowed players to capture and share their favorite gameplay moments. Black Ops Zombies featured some iconic complex maps like Kindertoten, Ascension, and 5, further expanding the zombie series. Modern Warfare 3 was released in 2011 and was set in the years 2016 and 2017, continuing the narrative from the previous Modern Warfare 2 title. It was estimated to have sold around 30.7 million copies. It featured DLC packs that expanded the game with additional maps and content for the game. The game's storyline included significant events such as Soap's death and Captain Price's quest for revenge against Makarov. The concept of the Moab, Mother of All Bombs, was introduced as a powerful killstreak reward that required gun kills only. Killstreaks were divided into 3 categories: Assault, Support, and Specialist, offering players different ways to impact the game based on their playstyle. Death streaks were introduced once again, providing players who struggled in matches with helpful bonuses or abilities. Notably, Dead Man's Hand, I like to call it Dead Man's Nuke because it was a C4 strapped to you and you died and it blew up and made an explosion. Those death streaks created unique and memorable moments in multiplayer. Most were sad moments. The prestige system allowed players to reset their ranks and earn prestige perks, providing additional incentives for leveling up. Fan favorite maps like Dome, Hard Hat, and Arcaden offered varied settings for intense battles. Terminal made its second appearance in the series, becoming a beloved classic map. The game featured a season pass that granted access to all DLC packs, ensuring players receive new maps and modes monthly, keeping the gameplay experience fresh and engaging. Modern Warfare 3 also also had survival mode as a special ops game mode. The greatest Call of Duty game of all time, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, was released in 2012 and was set in the near future of 2025, offering players a futuristic backdrop for the game's events. And if you're watching this video after release, you know that we are very close to 2025, so this one really hits home. It crossed the 1 billion sales mark in just 15 days. The game introduced the Pick 10 created class system, providing players with greater flexibility in customizing their loadouts. The game also included great kill streak selections, some being the Hunter Killer, which was a small drone that would fly around and blow up on impact on your enemies. The Swarm was a swarm of Hunter Killers. You can imagine how deadly this kill streak was. The game allowed you to create your own emblems, good and bad emblems. Diamond Camo became a prestigious camo option for players who achieve specific challenges with their weapons. Props to you. Fan favorite maps such as Raid, Standoff, and Slums provided dynamic environments for multiplayer battles, and all these maps came back in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War in 2020. Nuketown made its second appearance in the series in a 2025 fashion, offering fast-paced and chaotic combat on a small map. The Zombies mode introduced Transit mode, which involved traveling on a bus and exploring various locations. It also introduced an item crafting system to enhance the gameplay experience. The Target Finder site as an attachment helped players identify and target enemies more easily. The game encouraged communication among players with a forced game chat feature, fostering teamwork and interaction during matches. This included a lot of toxic trash talk. In 2013, Call of Duty Ghosts was released. It was set in the near future, specifically in the years 2023 to 2027. It was released on next-gen consoles of its time, including the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. It was cross-compatible with the PS3 and Xbox 360 as well. The game introduced dual rendering for snipers, enhanced the realism and precision of the sniper rifles. Maps in Call of Duty Ghosts were known for their larger size compared to previous titles. Fan favorite maps like Strike Zone and Warhawk provided engaging battlegrounds for players. Maps featured dynamic changes, adding an element of unpredictability to the matches. The game introduced the ability to lean, allowing players to peek around corners and take cover effectively. The Crank game mode added a fast-paced and intense gameplay experience, requiring players to secure kills to stay alive. Players had more options for character customization, allowing them to personalize their soldiers. One notable addition was Riley, a German Shepherd companion within the game. Extinction mode was introduced, offering a co-op experience where players fought against alien creatures, adding a variety to the game's content. In 2014, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare was released. Advanced Warfare was set in the far future, specifically in the years 2054 to 2061. The game introduced a futuristic setting that diverged significantly from the franchise's traditional themes. COD boredom refers to a play on words highlighting the departure from typical Call of Duty settings, offering players something new and unexpected. It was the first Call of Duty game to feature jetpacks, introducing verticality and enhanced mobility to gameplay. Exoskeletons provided players with enhanced movement abilities, allowing for faster and more dynamic combat. Weapon variants added a layer of customization and personalization to firearms. Exo Survival mode offered a co-op gameplay against waves of enemies, adding replayability. The game introduced supply drops, allowing players to earn or purchase in-game items, including weapons and cosmetics. Fan favorite maps like Detroit and Solar provided unique settings for futuristic battles. The Battle of Duty nickname refers to the Battle 27, a popular and versatile weapon in the game that was consistently being used. High Moon Studios created versions of the game for the previous generation of consoles, the PS3 and Xbox 360, ensuring a wider reach for players. Continuing with jetpack gameplay, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 was released in 2015, and this game once again had jetpack movements. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 was set in the year 2065, offering players a futuristic setting. The game introduced specialist characters, each with a unique ability and weapons that can add variance to gameplay. It featured advanced movement mechanics, including jetpacks, wall runs, and thrust jumping, allowing for fast-paced and dynamic traversal of the map. Supply drops were primarily focused on cosmetic items, giving players the opportunity to customize their characters and weapons. The game introduced the gunsmith and paint shop features, allowing players to create custom camos for their weapons and personalize their loadouts. Fan favorite maps like Combine and Fringe provided diverse environments for intense multiplayer battles. Zombie Chronicles offered remastered versions of classic zombie maps, while Shadows of Evil introduced a new and unique zombies experience within the game. In 2016, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare was released. It was set in a distant future and took this franchise to space, featuring space warfare as a central theme. The game's trailer generated significant controversy and became one of the most disliked videos on YouTube, with millions of dislikes. It continued to feature jetpacks and advanced movement mechanics, which were a departure from the traditional Call of Duty gameplay. Many players felt that the game was significantly different than the older Call of Duty titles. The game faced issues with lag and hit detection upon its launch, leading to frustration among players. Loot boxes were introduced as a part of the game's microtransaction system, allowing players to purchase in-game items. Combat rigs were introduced, offering unique abilities and playstyles for operators in multiplayer. Modern Warfare Remastered was included with certain editions of the game, providing a remastered version of the original Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare game. Sales of Infinite Warfare dropped by 50% compared to its predecessor Black Ops 3. Optic Gaming, a well-known esports team, achieved a victory as world champions during this time for the first time ever. The game introduced Spaceland Zombies, a zombies mode set in a space-themed amusement park. Fan favorite maps included Throwback and Frontier, offering varied environments for multiplayer combat. In 2017, with Call of Duty World War II, we finally returned to the World War II era and also returned to boots on the ground gameplay. The game introduced a headquarters lobby where players could interact with each other and engage in various activities. Loot boxes were included as part of the game's microtransaction system, offering cosmetic items and other rewards. A firing range feature allowed players to practice their aiming and shooting skills. Custom classes were simplified and divided into divisions, each with its own set of perks, providing a streamlined and structured approach to loadouts. War mode was added once again, offering objective-based gameplay with a focus of teamwork and strategy. Fan favorite maps included London Docks, St. Marie du Pont, offering diverse environments for intense battles. The game also returned with a zombies mode, providing players with a co-op experience battling against hordes of undead enemies. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 was released in 2018, and it was set in the 2040s and represented a significant departure from previous titles in the series. Unlike its predecessors, the game did not include a traditional single-player campaign. The game returned to full boots on the ground gameplay with no advanced movement mechanics like jetpacks or wall running. It introduced a predictive recoil pattern, which meant that weapons had consistent recoil patterns, allowing players to learn and control their weapons more efficiently. Specialist operators made a return from Black Ops 3, offering a unique abilities and playstyles for players to choose from. Players used stims to heal themselves, making a departure from the traditional health regeneration system. The minimap showed the player's view, providing more information and tactical awareness for your teammates. Fan favorite maps like Arsenal and Frequency were well received, and the return of classic maps like Nuketown, Summit, Jungle, Firing Range, Launch, Havana, Grind, WMD, and Slums were delightful for longtime fans. The game introduced a Battle Royale mode called Blackout, featuring iconic locations. Another map in the Battle Royale was called Alcatraz, which later became the inspiration for Rebirth Island and Call of Duty Warzone. The game adopted a free DLC model with additional content available to all players, while a season pass provided further options for content access. Now it's time to reboot it all, because in 2019, Call of Duty released Modern Warfare, and this game was called Modern Warfare 2019 to return to a modern day setting, offering a fresh take on the franchise's narrative. The game was built on a new game engine, resulting in impressive graphics and visual fidelity. Footstep sounds were emphasized in the game, making audio cues an essential aspect of gameplay. The game introduced a tactical sprint feature, allowing players to sprint faster for a short duration. Slide canceling allowed players to reset their tactical sprint, enabling more fluid and tactical movement. Maps created by Infinity Ward featured greater complexity and detail, providing varied environments for combat. The addition of doors added tactical elements to matches, allowing players to control access areas. Shoot House made its first appearance as a fan favorite map, known for its intense close quarters combat. The game marked the introduction of crossplay, allowing players from different platforms to play together for the first time. Gunsmith provided deep weapon customization, allowing players to tailor their firearms for their playstyle. The Gunfight game mode featured 2v2 battles and small tactical maps. Field upgrades changed the dynamics of abilities, making features like Ninja and Dead Silence into abilities rather than perks themselves. Fan favorite maps included Gunrunner and Shoot House and Hackney Yard, offering engaging multiplayer experiences. Several classic maps from previous games returned, including Hard Hat, Vacant, Crash, Shipment, Rust, Scrapyard, Kill House, and Broadcast made their return. Call of Duty Warzone, a Battle Royale mode set in the same universe, achieved remarkable success with 100 million downloads within the first year, becoming a standalone free-to-play game. On March 10, 2020, Call of Duty Warzone was released with the map Verdansk. In 2020, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War was released. This game was set in the 1980s, providing a historical backdrop for its events. The game featured a campaign with choices that determine the outcome of the storyline, allowing players to shape their narrative to their liking. Fan favorite maps included Garrison and others that have left a positive impact on the player community. Classic maps like Raid, WMD, Hijack, Standoff, Slums, Jungle, Drive-In, Zoo, and Rush made their return from previous Call of Duty games, offering nostalgia and variety to the gameplay. The game integrated with Call of Duty Warzone, sharing progression and content between the two titles. Rebirth Island was added as a part of Call of Duty Cold War integration. Verdansk 84 became the new Warzone map, blending the Cold War theme into the Battle Royale. The Zombies mode aimed for more of a classic feel with zombies, delivering an experience that appealed to longtime longtime fans of the franchise. In 2021, Call of Duty returned to its historical roots again, with Call of Duty Vanguard returning to World War II settings. The game introduced a caliber and ballistic system, allowing players to customize their weapons extensively by adjusting factors like the velocity, damage, and recoil. Operator customization was expanded once again, providing players with more options to personalize their favorite characters in-game. The integration with Call of Duty Warzone continued with Warzone Caldera, offering a new map that carried over the same integrations like previous titles have done. A Rebirth Island was once again in the rotation, and on top of that, they released Fortune's Keep, which was a new resurgence map for players to play. Warzone 1, however, on September 21st of 2023 was turned off for the very last time, so rest in peace to the original Warzone. In 2022, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was rebooted as well, and is set in the modern day, continuing with the narrative and themes from the previous Modern Warfare title. The game made significant changes by removing the red dots on the minimap feature, which had been a long-standing element in the franchise. Slide canceling was also removed from the game, altering movement mechanics compared to previous titles. They took out bunny hopping as well. Scumpy, a prominent figure in the Call of Duty esports community, announced his retirement from professional play during this game. The game introduced a Netflix menu feature, which is the reference to the user interface and navigation system, more or less making fun of it. The firing range made its return, marking the first appearance since Call of Duty World War II. Fan favorite maps included Albagra Fortress, Brenberg Hotel, Mercado, and Farm 18, offering engaging multiplayer experiences. Classic maps like Shoot House, Dome, Showdown, Strike, and Corio Village also made their return, bringing nostalgia to players. Warzone 2, the new Warzone game, had the Al Mazrah map as the brand new map, including locations like Dome, High Rise, Quarry, and many more. The Ashika Island and Vondel map were released as well, a part of the Warzone 2, and were resurgence maps within Warzone 2. And yes, I'm not going to forget Modern Warfare 3. The game has not come out yet, and I hope you guys are viewing this before the game comes out. If you are viewing it after the game comes out, I really hope the game lives up to all the hype that we are anticipating at the moment for it. So there you have it, the incredible journey of Call of Duty from 2003 to today. It's been a roller coaster of innovation, controversy, and unforgettable gaming moments. Which Call of Duty title is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting content right here on Prophecy Gaming. Until next time, guys, peace out.